There's no going back now. What's up, my dudes? Today we have another Ram. If you guys wondered if you get repeat vehicles, yes, definitely. We've done quite a few Rams, as you can tell. I get a lot of these, so this is going to be a very straightforward live stream from what you're normally used to seeing. That's plenty okay with me. It's always nice to have some variety. You know, with like the Mercedes that we did yesterday. But we also appreciate just a regular, straightforward vehicle. This is the second one that I'm doing today. It's just Ram Day. So kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm going to make sure a couple things are set here. Hey, look, it actually posted as a live stream in the Facebook group. How about that? That's always appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Facebook. And looks like everything else is working. Young Dexter, wubba lubba dub dub. How you doing? We're going to get started here in a minute. We're running a little bit behind on this one. Can't wait for my tools to arrive and start tinting. Ooh, very cool. That is exciting. Hello from Chicago, Swole Gang, my boy. My tint was as full of Rams I did yesterday and one today. I mean, you just have those staple vehicles, and like one like this, I am more than happy to do because it's just, you know what you're getting into. I've done a whole bunch of these. I can't tell you how many that I've had time and time again just for front door matches, especially at other locations. Here I tend to get full trucks, which is a cool difference, but yeah, we're gonna cut out the rear on the plotter, or at least the slider we're gonna cut out on the plotter, and then the rest of it, except that centerpiece, and the rest of it we're gonna hand cut. How did it go? Oh, things went okay. What's good? Oh, you know, same old. I should just jump into this right now. Yes. Good morning. Yeah, afternoon. Afternoon at this point. It still feels like morning, though. I need a haircut, and weather's getting a little colder. It's kind of muggy. It's kind of gross. It's kind of cold. Not fun. It turned real quick on me, too, so, but that is what it is. It's part of living near the Motor City. GoPro. Is that it? That's it. All right. Where's my preview window? And that looks like everything is a-okay. So yes, another Ram. I didn't do a ton. I just threw some towels over some stuff. I hope I have the keys. I do. So let's roll down some windows. Let's go ahead and prep these. Turn this off. And let's pick up my stuff. I actually managed to get my blazer a little cleaner. Greetings from South Africa. Welcome. That is quite the distance. Probably a little warmer there, though. Do you install Window Shield on the side windows? I don't. What is Window Shield? Probably not. Install tint. Anything more than that? Not really. If you have too much water, will it affect the drying of the tint? No, not really. I mean, there are excessive levels of soap, but you would know if it was like extremely excessive because you're just pretty much spitting out soap at that point. you have quite a wide range. You want enough so you can slide it around and then get it to mostly tack up when you want it to, and keep it in that range. I mean, if you have way too much soap, it's not even gonna calm down on you. It's just always gonna be sliding. What tape is that? This is tuck tape. Tuck tape. Just something to help keep all the sides cleaner. And then it helps the plastic to stick on the door panels too when we cover those up. It's a little extra prep, nothing crazy. So on these ones, one thing that you're definitely going to notice that I point out later, but you have this interesting swoosh. So if you haven't seen a ram before, when we roll this up, this is gonna like pop out this way, and then it's just a little bit of a funny cut. Nothing crazy though. When you call Geo, can they give you a sample film to try out? They have a sample program, but it's not free. But they do credit like your first order. They just want to make sure that a bunch of people aren't trying to get free film to do their own cars, especially off of the channel. That is definitely a thing I may or may not have said in the past from other places. There's companies that are more than happy to send out free samples, and they'll do it sometimes without you even expecting them to show up at your door. You're just like, oh, hey, they sent me some film. But it does get abused. Do batteries go dead when you're tinting cars? What? Battery dead? It's never happened before.
Cameron Landry super chatted $9.99. Tinted this truck and noticed the windows had a coating on the inside. Customer came back and the bottom corner had peeled up.
Thank you, Canon.
Tucked under seals too.
Canon.
Tint peeled off clean too.
Cameron.
Do coatings affect?
Cameron with the 10. Oh, that's a long one. Tinted this truck and noticed the windows had a coating on the inside. Customer came back, bottom corner peeled up, tucked the inside of the CO2, tint peeled off clean. Do coatings affect? Thank you so much for the 10. It's an interesting question. GoPro. I've never encountered a coating on it. I've done a ton of Rams. There's nothing that I know of that would be out of the factory. It's possible somebody like ceramic coated the inside. But I've never encountered a ceramic coated window on the inside. And I'd imagine it'll definitely not let it stick quite as much. So no surprises there. That's what I would have asked him though if he did a ceramic coating. I mean, it's possible he bought it and then they did that on the inside, or like other than that, Ram's not putting anything on the inside that I've ever been aware of. The only one that I know of right now is like Toyota. So thank you for the 10. Sorry I don't have any more info, but yeah, if you have like a hydrophobic coating on the glass, generally everything's fine. So Range Rover is pretty famous for hydrophobic windows. Usually it just makes it harder to install, but there hasn't been anything that keeps the film from just naturally sticking to the window. However, I have had like something ceramic coated on the outside and then tried to use Glass Aid on it, and Glass Aid didn't really like that much at all. It fell off pretty easily, but that's what ceramic coatings are made for. They're made to like not let sticky, mud, dirt, any of that stuck. So if they put it on the inside, yeah, you could potentially have problems, but I guess rest assured with Rams not doing that in any like mass quantity, so it's probably just a one-off situation. So maybe that was a little bit more helpful than I thought. Thank you for the 10. Do you work alone? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much everything I do is just me. Definitely everything that comes out of this shop. I do have help with appointment scheduling, but that's about it. Do you have international shipping? I do. Yeah, I do. I still do. I'm probably going to get rid of it, but sorry. Oh no, we're going to get demonetized. Shut up. Where's this? Where's the off? There's the off. And then, oh, I'm stuck in between a rock and a hard place right now. I locked all the things and they have the pegs, but there's the ding ding. So I either choose to latch it or do this. I'll do that. And then I can close this one. What is the tape? It's called tuck tape. Does it stick better if you clean it with alcohol? No, not that I've ever seen. I've been following your videos for a while. Just got done training. Excited to put in practice everything I learned from him as well. You and Patrick. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Good luck, sir. Ah, I did it again. Did you get a new steamer? I did. I had it for a little bit, but yeah, this steamer right here, I got like the big stone-looking Jiffy steamer. It's okay. I was looking around, like I had a couple cheaper steamers fail on me, and generally I'd recommend a cheap steamer. You know, they've been okay enough. It's kind of like a cheap heat gun. They'll get the job done. I haven't really liked the more expensive Jiffy steamers, and I still don't really like that thing. But I was looking around, and I don't know. They all kind of look the same. And I came in one day. I had to do a removal on a windshield, and they showed up later than expected. So they already kind of put me in a bit of a time crunch. They were supposed to like show up earlier, and they just like came in much later. And then they show up, and then I go to turn on my steamer, and then my steamer didn't work. So I'm like, all right, I need something that I know is going to be reliable, and I'm really familiar with at least one of those that was really good. So I put my old steamer. I kind of put an extension on it, and I'm running around with that thing now. It's okay enough. Takes a while to start up though. I have the same steamer. Takes a while to warm up. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I'm not. If I'm ever gonna use it, I know to just put it in like warm up mode. And then I like things are usually chill enough here that I'm not in a big hurry to fire it up. But yeah, you're right. It's just sits there for a while. But when it starts putting out steam, it never stops. Not until the tank's empty. Making sure that was 20. We used this morning. Actually, that's all we used this morning. We did 20 all around on a ram this morning. And now we're doing 20 on the front and 5 on the rest. So I had some practice this morning. There we go. So we're going to double cut these like we always do. Same thing with the back doors. We're going to double cut those. And we're going to have a good time. Does your roll not have a sticker on the inside? No, these do. Pro Classic 20. Yeah, I just totally forgot that it did. Picked it up because I'm actually not used to, I've been using Geo for quite a while now, and I still, like, if I just throw a meter on it really quick, if I didn't see the sticker, I kind of forget that they even put them there. I always put them back in the box, so I never have to check for them unless I do that number right there. I don't believe this sticker. I'm kidding. Over one way, over the other way, slide it down, tack it up. What type of blades do you use? I use 60-degree stainless steel. 60-degree stainless steel from NT or Olfa. Typically NT though. I like the NTs a little bit better. Sharp blades, like these will dull out usually at the ends much quicker. Anyways, you're gonna snap them off a ton. Just right onto the floor though. That'll not trigger some people, right? I only use film on in the water. Would you use baby soap? Yeah, I do. I use baby soap. Baby soap and Dawn. Is Geo the best film? Yeah, or else why would I not? Why wouldn't I use the best? I do that sometimes. I install a lot of 5 and then install 20 and wonder why it looks so clear. Yeah, I never really trust my opinion on the film without checking it. Like, you pick it up out of the box, okay, that's kind of what it looks like, but there's so many little things that play visual tricks on you. So I can't tell you the amount of time that somebody has asked me, hey, what shade do you think is on my vehicle? And I'm like, I'm just going to go get the meter. I'm not even going to try and guess. I'm just not great at it. I try and get close, and then time and time again, I've been surprised. It's like, yeah, it looks like 20, or you have one on a day that looks pretty light, and you're like, yeah, that's definitely 35. And then you're just like, oh no, it's actually lighter than that, and you're like, wait, what? That's 50 for sure. Nope, 35. Dang it. That's what meters are good for, so you don't have to guess. Don't trust labels. He's not the smartest. No, I trust the label. But just to double check. Oh, super sticker.
Scoggin super chatted $1.99.
Scoggin! Thank you for the 2. I appreciate that super sticker very much. Sit back, relax, enjoy the tint. I received my order. Everything was perfect. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Glad to hear it. Perfect. That's what we aim for. We don't always get there. That's what we aim for. RAM TRX, 5% all the way around. 35% on windshield. 50% pano. Carbon tint. How much? Dang. That's a hell of a quote right there. Let me break out a calculator because I got to throw so many numbers together. Or chat can do math for me. So on the RAM panoramic, I'm assuming they're 2 panels, like 2 separate panels. It should be. I don't remember though offhand, and this one doesn't have it. So 1 second. Canon. So a full RAM without the windshield is going to be 320. Add the windshield, that's going to be 160, and then it's going to be 75 per panel. So in total, you're looking at 630 in carbon. GoPro. No problem. Thanks for all your videos. Oh, you're very welcome. I appreciate that. It was the super sticker. How much air pressure do you add to a 5-gallon tank? Anywhere, as much as you want. Anywhere from like 60 to 100 is usually pretty good. This one I'm using right now, I just have it set on 60, but I would regularly put 80 in it, 80 to like 90. It just sometimes, like with a small air compressor, it just takes a little while, so 65 is plenty enough. It's a little light when you start running to the end, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so we got to remind ourselves we're doing 5 on the back. We don't want to make a mistake and do 20. Just got my first check. $26 paying job. What? Can you explain a little bit more? This sounds a little late, but congrats. All right, so when we're cutting these out, didn't we like have to cut this out like 50 times the other day? I've done more that have gone very well since then, especially this morning. We got ladybugs now. All right. So you've got funny edges on this one. You have that side that's normal, and then you have this side that goes zoom. So what you want to look at is straight lines, or wherever is the most straight on the window. This one all kind of curves like that. So really right in here will go down, so you can cut basically from here to here and drag it over and you'll be fine. That's kind of showing you where your boundaries are. You got a plotter, why aren't you using it? Because it's not all that it's cracked up to be. Nothing's changed. We'll use it on the back glass. I haven't tried one with the ram front doors yet, or the back doors. We just tried it on the slider before. And it gets 2 out of the 3 windows right. I gotta oversize the middle one. So I'm actually gonna cut. Am I gonna cut all of them? No, I have a template. I'll show you. I have a template from this morning that I'm gonna use. We learned this on the last RAM. The outer 2 windows, totally fine. The inner one, it's almost there. So I'd imagine the rest of the cuts are still pretty decent, but we've been able to outperform the plotter with hand cutting. So being that we stream full jobs and like that's kind of like our deal is doing better work, doing subpar plotter cuts isn't really my jam. But they'll get you by. I gotta lift this up just a little bit. I shortened that just slightly. There we go. Now we're covering all our edges. Look at this. Look at this. Good software is also a must. I use DAP. I like DAP. I like DAP a lot. They're annoying though. I mean, there was somebody that just posted in my group. Somebody just posted in my group. They use Ceramic Pro and Expel, and now they're cracking down. They're cracking down pretty hard on certain things. So there we go. Ta-da! Yay. So they're unfortunately cracking down on being 100% Expel or basically nothing at all. And I get it. I get why, but it's kind of a dick move. But they got shareholders to appease now, so big acquisitions, big expansions, and then I don't know. I'd imagine more corporate stores and stuff like that. They'll probably be strategic about it. They'll keep the ones that make sense, and then they'll open a bunch of corporate stores too. That's a guess, but makes sense. So, I don't know. It's definitely not something I can just recommend. But I'll give them the software. Are you 100% GeoShield? Yeah, I've been for quite a while, but they have that's at my own will. I could use somebody else's film in different tiers if I wanted to. I'm not bound to them. And having that choice, you're not going to make your company off the brand of film that you install. I think there's definitely certain things that companies can bring to the table outside of the box other than just shipping you window film. You know, they're supposed to know this business, and if they can be an asset to you, like, hey, we have other dealers that are doing this, or we added this program for all our dealers. Like, building dealer value is a strong priority for them because it gets more clients of theirs and it keeps people invested. If you're just selling somebody window film, then you know that's all there is to it. Somebody can come out with a better product and then bring extra value. That's one of the reasons that they grew to the size that they are now so quickly. They won. They weren't they weren't selling window film, and then all of a sudden, in a matter of a handful of years, they're one of the biggest film distributors for window film in the business now. Why is that? Well, they built a lot of value in other places before they even started selling window film. But once they hit that peak expansion and their programs are all working well, now they have to then keep continuing to get those numbers quarter after quarter. So they've determined that locking down people to 100% Expel or not is in their best interest. So that sucks if you're not committed. And it sucks if you have a hard time getting film and they can't get it to you, or somebody else comes out with a product that you feel is better for your customers. Sorry, you can't touch it. Or not if they find out about it. If it's a category that they don't sell, then you're free and clear. But as soon as they do, nuh-uh. Kind of a problem. Trying different brands now. I have GeoShield and SolarGuard to try out today. Nice, very nice. Yeah, pick I use Geo. I like them. If you use something else, dude, more power to you. You're not going to hurt my feelings one bit. My business is not your business. Just use whatever you feel is the best for your business. So I had to use some film, and people are going to ask me what it is. So, but I don't try and shove anything I use down people's throats. This is just more so to try and help get people to a place better than they were before. If that makes sense. That should make sense. And then I get feedback from you guys too, so it helps me out. Can you talk about tank setup? Where to get it? Sure. After a sip of coffee. Tint keg. So this clever little thing here, I'm going to put this right on this table so I can talk about it for a sec. This is a tint keg. I've been using these for quite a long time. What's cool about a setup like this is tint keg specifically will upgrade fittings and the hoses and the sprayer, basically like the whole setup, and they put this really sick wrap on it. So one cool thing is they use quick disconnect fittings. So you can take this, you can go over to your sink, fill it up, wash it out, bring it back, leave your hoses sitting where you want, and then it's still pressurized, just pop them back on. So a tint keg you can find at sundistributing.com. And they come in like 1.5, I think 1.5 is the smallest one. Sorry, let me put that link there. Sun Distributing. There you go. You can find them at sundistributing.com. They build them all out. They make sure everything's good to go. They come in like a 1.5 gallon, a 3 gallon, and a 5 gallon variety. So I prefer the 3 gallon just because they're easier to manage. So if you're running around mobile or you have to move around your own shop a lot, they're really nice to have because they're easy to carry around. They'll get you through pretty much a full day, unless you're just like spraying a ton of water and doing way more than I guess 4 or 5 cars. Then you need to fill it up again. Other than that, the 5 gallons are still really handy. They're just like a little bigger than I wanted. So I thought it'd be really nice to because I could leave a 5 gallon in the corner. I just don't like cleaning them out as much. They're just kind of big. But still handy. Tap or distilled water. It's up to you. It depends on how clean you are. How clean your water is. You can get like a carbon water filter or something else to help keep everything clean. But you can use tap water for sure. Just some places have very hard water and lots of deposits in the water, so you wouldn't necessarily want to just then use that. So most of the places I tinted around here, I use tap water just because it was the most convenient. I'm not going to carry around a 5 gallon jug of water and then leave it sitting in, or whatever those big ass water jugs. Leave it sitting to freeze in my truck over the winter. When I was mobile, that would have been terrible. So I don't know. I found it most places it's pretty fine, but we have city water most places, and it's decent enough. I guess unless you go out to Flint. If you went out to Flint, I probably wouldn't use their water. You know, their water made the news, so yikes. That probably would have made a good video, too. Can you tint a window with Flint water? I think it's a good question. Let me grab just a couple more things. What do I need? That is from yesterday. Where's my clay bar from today? This is today's stuff. Cool. You showed me GeoShield and customer service was far excellent. By what others say, I'm excited to try it out myself. Nice, glad to hear it. Yeah, if there's I mean, there's a bunch of good things that I can say about them for sure, but I mean, even the small things, which customer service is no small thing, but like if you post in the group, even like halfway, like reaching out to them, like curious about like what people thought about this, man, they're just They'll just chime in. They'll take care of you. They're there to fix problems and get people film as quick as they can. So they've been really, really positive for the group too. Dirty, dirty top edge of the window. These are laminated. So that basically means that it's a glass sandwich. And right at the top, there's a lot of dirt that can kind of sit in that channel. So sometimes I'm really quick to just kind of like wipe it off and tint the window. But I've been trying to be a little bit more particular for those because I've noticed a little difference. Just try and clean all that scuzz out. Yeah, I need another monitor. I need one like right here. Putting a frozen yogurt machine in the waiting room for better tips. It sounds like you probably hang out up there and have way too much frozen yogurt. I know I would. No, little things like that are great though. Having just extra things up in your showroom that help make it feel a little bit more comfortable and home-like. All those little things are great. Comfier place to sit, Wi-Fi obviously, little extras like one of the places that I tinted for, they had like a fridge full of drinks, they had a Keurig, they had a little ice machine, they had a TV with just that was already like logged in with like their Netflix accounts and stuff like that. Just anything and everything to just make it a little bit more comfortable up front. It's not gonna get you the business, but it will be a big addition to like for like referrals and stuff like that. Or it'll be like a big reason to get all those little extra things. Like, yeah, and they even had this, and I got, I had a soda. Free soda. Sounds pretty good. It's like what's cool about that kind of stuff is like, why not? That's kind of like my opinion on streaming and like doing things the way that I do them, is because like, why not? A lot of tint shops were born out of auto garages. I mean, that's kind of like where this whole industry came from. It wasn't like some glamorous thing that high-end vehicles were getting, and now it's kind of in some places it's been built up to more of like an artisan thing with you can dress it up however you want, and you can as more people understand the process of how this can be really tedious, and you can get a really nice job and really nice film, good customer service can come along with that, with all sorts of like little extras that just isn't typical for like walking into a mechanic shop. Like, but you do have that spectrum. You have mechanic shops that are real high end too, but there's a lot of them that are just kind of like pretty grimy and rough, and they have a cold waiting room, and it's just always the bare minimum. Like, you don't have to do that just because it's kind of the norm. I mean, what was cool was I sat in on a conversation a handful of weeks ago, and we were talking about live streaming and like how it can help your business in a way. And it's like you don't have to have like a big channel or anything to even do something as simple as like live stream to your showroom or let your clients know that you're doing that. It's like going to a what is it? It's like going to like an oil change place and they have the TV showing what's going on, like similar to that. Like you could show the cameras in the back room, but when you turn it into more of like an experience, that it stands out way more because nobody else is really doing that. They haven't seen that before, so they're way more likely to share and talk about it, and that just helps your business. It is extra work, but, I mean, hopefully it's worth doing. It has been for here, 100%. So, not every job I do is carbon or ceramic, but the people that come in here are generally, like, super nice, appreciative, and generally great people. They understand what's going on ahead of time. When you use awesome for glue on a window, how long do you let it sit? Not long at all. Just until it looks like it's doing its job, that's all. So just poke at it a little bit. It's no more than like a minute. It should be way quicker than that, but you can kind of like scrub it and then spray it again because it'll start to like soak the glue, and then you just need like another fresh layer on it and stuff like that. It makes it really grimy and sticky and like gunky, but it does work really well. It's just, God, removals suck. Sweet, so that's the front door. Now the back door, which this is 20 over, no, sorry, this is 5 over 20. So like this, compared to that, now that looks like 35 to me. Big difference. If this was like 22, no, I forgot how long this stuff is, but it's like just slightly short of the bottom of this door panel. Just wish it was a little bit longer there. Will you train me to be the best tinner like yourself? Not the best, but thank you. Keep watching. Everything that you see is how it gets done in person. We probably will have classes in the future, but I've been saying that for a while, so don't hold your breath. Working on some stuff in the background, though. Because I know I only come on here, do a full car. And there's more to it, but you see everything that gets done. Like, I don't hold anything back there. So there's could be better explanations of some things that happen really quickly, where it looks one way, I guess. And then when you go try it for yourself, it just doesn't quite go the same way as what you see. What's the legal percentage where you are? What are you gonna narc on me, man? State laws vary. Here it's legal with a doctor's note, but without a doctor's note, nothing on the front doors, nothing on the windshield except the top 4 inches. But if you do have a doctor's note, then you can do basically whatever you want, because there isn't any written guidelines on that. But we can tint them as dark as we want in the shop. I think I'm running lower on pressure. Just a little bit. Should we put this there? Yeah, we'll put that there, and then we'll lift it up. Will you make a tinted while blindfolded video? I have. I did a door window blindfolded. It turned out alright. It wasn't the best, but I did it all. It was around the time that a blindfold movie was very popular. I don't know if they still flag that stuff, but it unfortunately got super flagged right as I released it. I was really proud of that video too. I like hopped on that trend so fast, and then they just nope. Sorry, they smushed it. It was a fun video. I did a door window. I was trying to figure out how I could do a back window. Why are those gaps so huge? Because we love big gaps. It's not on the window yet. There. How's that? Is that a little better for you? It's like when I get comments. It's alright. It's like when I get comments though on videos, and they're like, you're putting it on the outside? That's wrong. It definitely goes on the inside." And it's like, you can't rely on anybody to watch part of the video. They just see one thing, and they're like, "Hey, why did you tint both sides of the window? I thought you only tint one side of the window. That's really weird." Okay. So that Walmart video was definitely like a lot of mixed opinions on that one. But it was a good video overall. I was really proud of it. There's double seal on this. I know there is on the front and the back. Just trying to get that shank far enough down. So there's like, they do this on quite a few vehicles. Sometimes the inner seal is a little bit annoying. So they kind of like double layer the seal. So it's like a double wedge, where it's like one's here and then one's like a quarter of an inch or half an inch below, like here. So that seal is going to be like this. So you have two layers underneath it, or you have one layer underneath the top seal. So just make sure that you lay everything evenly. If you want to go down a little bit farther too, totally fine. What's your goal with tinting? To make a vehicle darker and more private and better heat rejection. Is that what you're asking? No, probably not. No, it's to have a successful business, and I enjoy what I do. I like bringing it to other people. I'm glad that other people can like doing things this way. I'm glad that other people have an opportunity to build their own businesses in ways that they might not have thought of, or we're like, I guess people that want to do better for themselves. It really bugs me when things are extra difficult for like no reason. So, are you looking to open more shops with more people? No, I was teasing in the beginning. So that's kind of like the immediate goal is running things like this. I don't really aspire to open like a lot of Detroit tint studios and scale up in any sort of normal traditional shop means. It's just, yeah, I don't see it that way. I don't, it's kind of hard to describe. Most people know of tint shops just from like referrals and stuff. They're not that publicly invested in finding out other things, unless like, you know, unless something kind of grows very organically locally and then could branch out from there. So like, if you had a company that started in a city like Detroit, and then all of a sudden there's like a handful of Detroit tint studios around, and they got a really good reputation, and they could branch out from there, that is just a world of blah for me, because scaling window tinting businesses is tough. It really is. So, not my expertise. I more enjoy the media, putting out good work, and like probably some sort of like a training program all around it, but it might be a little bit different than what's already out there. What is tint bubble? While it's curling, and how do you explain it to customers? Oh, well, it's curing. Oh, okay. Oh, it's really easy. You can even preface it ahead of time. Like, so these are what to expect. These are little things and what to expect ahead of time. I've only had 1 or 2 people really like lose confidence in the very beginning when they saw their vehicle. It does happen, because one of the most notorious phrases with tinting is bubbles. So when they get their vehicle back and they're like, and then they go look at it and they're like, hey, there's a lot of bubbles on my car, and it's like, well, hang on, let me talk you off the ledge. So you just have to, you're like, hey, you're gonna notice a lot of water blisters in the very beginning. It's drying. It'll usually be gone within a couple of days. Anything longer than a week, I would consider a problem. Just let me know and I'll take care of it. So as long as you're, what I found is like, just be really reassuring about everything. Like, a lot of people know that you have to leave your windows up for a couple of days, but just giving extra reassurance that like your shop is going to take care of any concerns that they have. You're not just trying to kick them out the door. It gives them a little bit more confidence when they drive away from it. Don't be a dick about it. It's just like, hey, this is how it looks in the beginning. It's totally fine. Give it a couple of days. Most of it's going to be gone by tomorrow. And then you just, you know, yeah, it'll be good. What kind of squeegee do you use? I use a bunch of different ones. Lately, I've been using either Blue Max or Hybrid. Hybrid is I think, my favorite. It's a smooth squeegee. It's expensive, but it's smooth. I want to be adding tint and PPF services. What do you recommend me to go to get training or to hire somebody? Do you have an existing business already? Does he have triage on the wall? Why don't you sell them on your site? I gotta buy a whole butt ton of them if I want to sell them with any type of reasonable margin. Because all that stuff, actually, like window film tool companies, their margins aren't all that great. So it's just one of those products that I'd like to. I just gotta buy a whole bunch of them first. And there's other companies that sell them too. So one thing that I really appreciated was, like, I didn't want to become a tool distributor. If I wanted to become like a professional tool distributor, I would be focusing a lot on that. But it's just like a window film business. It's a whole nother business. So I wanted to do something relatively easy that kind of complemented what we do here, without trying to build like a whole nother one. So adding just those wouldn't be too much of a headache, but I wasn't at a position last year to do it. Maybe next year I might, but I have a couple of companies that help support what I do, and then you can buy them there. And that's kind of a long story about it. But they're good. I'd pretty much stock the Scrubbits and the Tri-Edge Smalls and the X's. The little ones and the big ones. I don't even think I'd stock the Scrubbit. It's a lot. Like each one of those things is there's so much behind it all. Not enough time in a day. Gotta hire. I think that's like, I'm gonna have to do that eventually. I've managed to have like enough help with kind of everything that I'm doing as is, and the more it kind of scales on its own, I'm actually gonna have to get into hiring and delegating. I just want to be careful because I'm not trying to each thing. There's more work. Just want to stream, man. Just want to get here and want to stream. Oh, gee, Rick. Let's go with. Aww. I wanted to buy some, but I wanted to buy from you, and I didn't want to order from a lot of places. I really appreciate that. But both Tint Depot and Sun Distributing, they're both really, really good companies that are really, really they're really, really good companies that help support the channel and what's going on here. And so if you want to help support all that, rest assured that ordering from them is a good thing too. So I appreciate that though. Don't show yourself out on good tools. Their Tri-Edge has, they're my favorite side cards. I use them on every vehicle. What is the cheapest practice film? I haven't looked into a lot of practice film in a while, but Tint Depot is a good place for it. They have, like, I get whatever their, like, least expensive 1.5 mil film is. It's going to be more expensive than the cheapest, like, 1-ply film. But if you get a 1.5 mil, or I guess some 1.5, 2-ply, whatever, it's like, make sure it's a little bit thicker, because that's what most professional films are going to be like. I'd practice with something like that. They're a good site to go to. Ding, 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 ding. Tint Depot. There we go. There's a link for them. Also, Sun Distributing. Sun Distributing. Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, those are lists of recommendations too. So each one of those links takes you to a page with basically everything that I use. So if you're ever curious, like, hey, what was that? And I didn't respond back, or I just missed the question or whatever, you got something else to do, you can find out through those links real quick. See, is there a way I can keep this right at the edge? It's like 1/2 inch too short. So close. That's okay. We'll get the job done. Then we got a back glass, and then actually another windshield strip. We haven't done a ton of windshield strips, but we've done a lot more of them lately. All right. Is this annoying enough? I think I can actually wipe it down, unlock it, close that door. Yes, so that's unlocked. And we can do this. Hooray! Oh yeah, this guy. I keep misplacing this. I don't always scrape windows, but there's been a couple of vehicles that I've done lately that I regret not doing it. And they've just had like little small spots that I've missed. Then I have to redo the whole window. And I'm like, ah. So you know what? Just gonna try and scrape most of them. You should get Tint Depot to put a matte kit together. It's a good idea. What's cool is Sun Distributing kind of has that, except it's a little bit more time consuming. So they have the recommendation pages, so you can literally like go through and then just add everything to your cart. I guess it'd be a little tedious because you got to do it one by one. But yeah, having something that kind of already fills out in the cart, that would be a good idea. It was actually kind of an annoying problem to solve too, because the idea of having like a fully put together starter kit is really convenient and it sounds great. What a lot of tool companies experienced was they'd have something already kind of put together and they'd get many requests to like swap things out. So the build your own kit from Sun Distributing is about as good as it gets right now for that. But it's a nice idea. I appreciate that. So the pages are pretty handy though. So it's nice. You think advertising on OfferUp? I've actually never used it, so I'm not sure at all. Being places other people aren't though, can definitely be a really good idea. Like, you know, if there's a lot of tinters that are like, hey, my posts keep getting removed off of Marketplace. What are you guys doing to keep them around? And it's like, it's a fast place for a lot of people to go. So if you just start putting ads in other places that just aren't as populated with tinters, that you can get some unique business that way for sure. It's definitely worth trying, 100%. I just never used it before, so I have no idea. Yeah, the Marketplace ones are pretty funny to me. I just saw a string of them, though. I don't even know why. It was like we hardly ever get any posts in the group about Marketplace, and then it was just like, I don't know, I think I caught like 5 different posts about Marketplace. Marketplace is a flea market. It's tough. you're gonna get a bunch of haggling and stuff there. That's what Marketplace is kind of there for. And they don't want service companies. They want products. So you have an even harder time. And then people just want to get attention, so they'll put like window tint, $100, and then they get offended when somebody's like, "I'll give you $80. Can you do it for $80? My whole car?" And they're like, "I don't tint cars for that cheap." And it's like, "Well, your ad says 100." And it's like, "Yeah, that's for 2 doors." Well, you're fishing in a flea market, so you're just gonna get haggled all to death. But it's like similar thing though. You know, it's just trying to get fast business or something. There's not a lot of effort put into it. It's kind of like a quick picture, brief description, and then people are surprised when that's not enough. Other companies are doing more now, so you have to step up your game. Boom. There we go. 4 doors done. 3 doors down, 4 doors down. I think people have seen enough Rams. These are one of those vehicles that, like, man, you'll just have particular vehicles that pop up a lot in your area. Sometimes you get unlucky and it'll be a pain in the ass vehicle. I get a lot of Rams. F-150s are not even as common. You know, I get full Rams, F-150 front doors. So you don't really see a lot of those on stream. But front doors, those are typically like these, and those are the most common. I'm actually right over near a Chrysler plant, so no surprise that I get a ton of Chrysler. I didn't even realize it for a little bit. Canon. Do you get a little lint or the towel between the film and the window? No, if I did, I wouldn't use them. So, like, the towel is good at just kind of like overall cleaning, but it does leave some stuff behind. But it's really good at, like, you know, just like a scrub pad. It's good at scrubbing the window. Towel has a similar effect where, like, the razor blades, they're good at scraping hard specks and stuff off the glass, but you can be a little bit more thorough with, like, cleaning with a scrub pad and just like a different type of dirt, I guess. But then you squeegee it all off. Your squeegee is what final cleans the window, so you don't have anything left behind from it. Yeah, like these ones, I have some other rags that'll leave even more fuzz behind, but no, it doesn't get into the film. Thankfully, if it was, we'd be a lot more careful of the towels that we use. I feel sketchy with bringing random people to my house since I'm working out of my garage. Any issues with that you know / heard of? I haven't dealt with any issues like that, but it's definitely, like, I understand the concern. It's your home, so some people feel comfortable with it, some people don't. It never really bugged me that much. How is adhesive removed from the tape being on too long? Use an adhesive remover. Have you had problems with tuck tape specifically? Because I haven't had any adhesive issues with that yet. I don't leave it on for all that long though either. But as far as people like coming to your house, yeah, there's always potential there, especially if you're doing like cheaper tint jobs. the Honestly though, the way, how do I describe this? Just in general, having like a larger YouTube channel, dude, there's people don't pay attention. I guess is like there's like what you think people might say or do, I guess, and it's just like most people just are nice, pretty respectful, keep to their own, and don't want to cause problems. Even if they're a loudmouth, they'll generally like keep the peace. So I wasn't running out for more than a summer, but that's like I wanted to do it from home. But like I don't know, I have my shop here, and I don't have like anybody walking in. It's very not walk-in traffic friendly. It doesn't even look like it's a real tint shop necessarily. It's around back. Got a little sign on the door, and for the most part, if I don't have an appointment, I'm not here. So, I've had problems with these lately. I don't know what is going on with these ones. I had a couple of them I was able to remove just fine. I've been doing it for a while, but I think the last 3 rams that I've been getting, they have the little buttons here, and they just don't want to pop out. They catch somewhere. So you can hear them like push back down and catch. Yeah, I'll fold them down too if I need to, but man, I like just getting them out of my way. It's usually not a big deal, but at this point, God, because they just stand up here. I just appreciate it if they're just out. Ugh. I don't know. They've been hanging up, though. Something fierce lately. Something fierce. Especially when I would cut them out on the inside, too. Like, I'd have to remove them then. But I guess if we use that thing over there, we're not going to have to. But, bleh, it's annoying. If plotted, just leave them folded down. I just still want them out of the way, yeah. Let's see. Does it help with the contamination if you raise the film above the edge of the window and peel the liner? Yeah, it does. Not anything I can like super quantify for you, but if you are, let's see, do I have an example? Kind of. I kind of have an example here. This is small though, but this teeny tiny little piece, we'll use this as an example. So when I spray it, let's say this was like a whole door, and I'm going to peel it right now. There's all this water up here, and you generally want to put enough water that covers the edge, but that doesn't leave a huge waterfall trailing down into your film, because there can be dirt sitting up here, and it'll just run into your film. So if you're like this, right? Well, all this is just getting carried into your film. Where if it's sitting over the edge of something, it's hanging in a void. So when you peel it, there's nothing that can run into it. So translate it over to peeling it on the door. For a very, very, very long time, I've had the film just below the top edge, and that was really just to keep everything nice and covered on the glass as I peel it. But then, like a handful of months ago, I had the idea to just pop it over the top edge. And I think it's a little bit better, but it's a small difference. As long as you're not soaking the top edge, it'd be fine anyways. So we got Canon. We got to bring up some film cuts here. Wondering if you're pushing on the right spot, because I know if you push on the outside, yeah, it's got the button right in the middle, and I'm jamming that button. And sometimes if you have it popped up a little bit, it doesn't give it enough. So it's like you can like tweak it down a little bit, unlatch it, and then it'll push up. Some of them are well greased and some of them aren't. I've done a ton of these rams. Yeah, it's just the last three. The last three that I've had right in a row, they've all been a pain in the ass. If I spend enough time, I can get them, but kind of annoying. So I'm not going to bother with it now at this point. All right. So select vehicle. We're going to do a 21 Ram because it's not going to matter. This year is going to umbrella into a lot of other ones. We're going to use 24-inch roll, and then we're going to quad cab, crew cab. I know you guys explained this to me last time. I just totally forgot, but it doesn't matter. They're the same. Oh, are we going to use a 24? Or a 36? We have to use a 36. That's right. 5. Do I have a 36-inch? Or I'm going to be using, yeah, I'm going to have to use a 36. GoPro. Okay. Oh yeah, my 5 is right there, so that's convenient. So let's pop this back in a box somewhere. Because we don't want to use 20, we want to use 5. What is this one? 35. You can hang out over here. This 5. Is this 5? No, this is 20. That belongs in the 20 box. You see how I misplace stuff real quick? This is my 5. We might need this for a windshield strip coming up here at the end. And then this guy right here. This is a roll of 5. We'll load this into the machine. My plotter is mostly set up. You gotta put it like half on the rollers because roll it back a little bit. This is backwards. Graphtex, lock up, release, totally backwards on this one. And then we can enter. That's all set up. So we go back to the desktop. We can, oh, we didn't have to delete that one. We could have just 36. I like that. And then we can put this here. Unfortunately, I can't, like on a 36, I can't get that centerpiece to quite match up in here too. So it's kind of like, it doesn't work anyway, so we just have some extra film here. It's just the way it is. If we had a 40, it would fit. Then we do this. GoPro. Look, there it goes. It's doing things. Uh-oh. Oh, that didn't sound good. I wonder what disconnected. Hopefully not my headset. That would be bad. Look at it do its thing. Whoa. All right. Somebody want to explain that to me? Because I've never seen it do that. I wonder if the plotter temporarily came off the computer. Like, Canon. I got no words. I got no words for this one. I'm just, I don't know. I don't even know. But I've never seen it just like get most of the way through a cut and just like, I'm gonna stop here. I think that's good. See, this is great. I appreciate this a lot just because like these are things I would have never known unless I'm messing around with it. So I don't think there's a way to just continue it where it's going, but I have the other one cut out. So what I'm going to do is, how do I flip it back? That. We're going to push it forward and get it past our cut area. We're going to cut this off. And then we're basically going to template out that off of the other piece. That'll be a quick way to save this. Look at that, it's so goofy. It's just, so this is the cut that we need, and then it just like, okay, I'm done. I can't make this stuff up. So this plotter was 1600, which as far as plotters go, it's definitely an economical machine. It does plenty well enough, but every once in a while we just come into a weird quirk. And I think people that have used plotters regularly kind of know what I'm talking about. You know, they'll get used to their own plotter quirks, and they'll adjust for them. And the longer you use them, the more you kind of just work through all the little issues, and then they're a good addition to your business. But if you thought that getting one of these things and just like you're off to the races and you're cutting out car after car after car, and it is just a workhorse machine for your business, it's gonna come with some things. It heard you talking smack. Maybe. Maybe. All right. So the way that we can actually, I've never had this happen with a plotter before, so that's just kind of funny to me. So the way we're gonna save it is pretty simple. I'm surprised it stopped where it did. So we just kind of match up. Dude, should we use some water? Maybe we can, oh, we'll bring it over to the board. We'll use some water. So this is one piece. This is the piece that I can see through. And this needs a little bit more cutting. So we're going to put this up here. And spray it down. I don't expect anybody to have this problem. But if you do, this is how I would fix it. Just mirror them together. And then even that little notch is like cut out. And then it stops. So I can line everything else up real easy without having to scrap anything. Line it up. Lock it down. Have you ever thought double layering the film and having your logo cut out? Yeah, I have a video. I did that a long time ago. We're actually going to be doing a graphics video sometime. I have a really good idea, something that could potentially do really well on the channel too. Very, very different. And it's not going to stay on my car long, but it is a graphics job that would be really a good crossover between like gaming and tinting. So that'd be really nice to see. And look, straighten that out. Look at that. Perfect plotter cut on both. What kind of blue scrub do you use? I bought one from the dollar store that's square and it's blue that said no scratch. Well then hopefully it doesn't scratch. Be a little bit more cautious on dollar store ones, especially when like sensitive glass is involved and it's like could potentially be really bad. But Scotch Brite has a blue one that doesn't scratch glass, and it'll say like for glass or no scratch or whatever. Those ones are actually okay. The ones that most people use that you can find in tint stores. Sorry, I'm looking for my heat gun. Oh my God, I'm standing on it. There's white 3M scrub pads, and then there's the Triad scrub pads. So I'll just use the Triad ones. I have a lot of them, but the white 3M ones, they're a little soft, but they do the job perfectly fine too. They're just a little bit softer. The Triad ones are a little bit more scrubby, I guess, and they're sized right for the scrub it pads, which I thought was, I don't know. It's one of those things that you didn't think would be very helpful, and then you actually used it, and they're like, wow, these are good. So I use them all the time. Nice even pressure. Where did you get the plotter? Plotter Depot. I have a shortcut for it. What is it? Let me try this. Plotter software. There, that worked. So the software that I'm using, you can actually get a free 30-day trial of it. So if you guys are already using a software, you have a plotter, you want to try something else out, feel free to give that software a try. It's what I'm messing around with. I have some gripes, but when it does a pattern well, it does them really well. There's just some that it's done not so well too, so I don't think it's amazing, but hey, I don't really have much to recommend in terms of software, so hey, there you go. But it's funny, when we were talking about getting a plotter, like, people hear me harp on them all the time, and they're just like, I don't know if some people think it's unfair, or give you the wrong impression of them or whatever, but it's like, I was definitely very cynical towards them, but for good reason. And now you can kind of see, like, little peeks into that cynicism. There's still a reason. I still am, but it can help in certain ways, and it can drive you crazy in other ways. So this pattern, I've already installed a handful of these on other RAMs. We did one of them on stream. This one is actually pretty good, pretty damn accurate. What's tough, and this is even going with hand cutting, is this metal top edge. There really isn't a great way to hand cut these without any type of a little gap. So what I would typically do is I'd hand cut them, and then I'd shift them up. So now I just plotter cut these, and then shift them up the same way I would have done. And that cut is like dead perfect to where the hand cut would be too. So they've put some refinement into these ones right here, which is good to see. So hand cutting, not hand cutting. These windows aren't exactly the most fun. There's just a spot like right in the middle that always hangs up. So I'll spend a little bit extra time, cut off this little bit, and heat shrink them down, get them to lay flat. So don't want to leave a gap up there. Be super obnoxious with like double limo tint. Or not double limo tint, but limo with factory. It's very dark back here. So kind of when you like hunch down, that's where you would see it. So we want to make sure that's all butt up there. But when you're installing, you're kind of like sitting up. You don't see that as much. So if you hunker down, that's where you'd notice it, if it was there. Sweet. So that one is installed. The other one, let's move over. Let's get the other pattern. What time is it? 3? Cool. We're going to leave that on. We're not even going to mess with it. Scotch tape is the best tape for temporary tags as long as it hasn't been stuck here for a couple of years. Because it peels clean. doesn't drive me crazy. Where? Oh, there. Best way to shrink a pre-cut back window? Like you would shrink any other back window. Leave the extra film on, so hopefully they didn't peel the whole thing for you. That'll make it a little bit more difficult, but dryer sheet the back window, slap the film over it, and shrink it like you see in a lot of the other videos. Plotter cutting, all it does is give you the shape of it. So there's nothing different about it compared to other things. If anything, it'll make it a little bit more challenging. What do you think about film cut? Call them in. Can't say it's FVD. No, that's the Film Cut Pro. Film Cut and Film Cut Pro are actually two entirely different programs. So, I'm kind of annoyed at them for that. This has been a whole thing. Nothing simple about plotters for me. Oh, it's okay. It doesn't bug me that much. It's just... Alright, so I'm trying to tuck this in here as much as I can. Some of them are easier than others. I'll usually just kind of butt the edges up and then leave this little whoop, and then I'll shrink it and trim it off after it's had a chance to dry. Yeah, like this is just really unique because it's a metal frame. So it's a metal frame with like a very slight round. So if you cut it exact and you don't tuck it up into the frame at all, you'll have a gap. So you have to kind of like be really careful about, how you do this. And some are a little bit looser than others. Putting a little back pressure on this, squeegeeing it up into it, forcing some film to kind of lay down, and then letting it dry out with a heat gun, and then kind of like trimming it off. That's generally been what works best. So now it's laying down a lot more. There's a couple of spots I gotta hit with a gun. That'll be fine. Heat gun. YouTube, it's a heat gun. Oh shit, I said gun again. Ah, I swore. Never tinted anything before, but love watching you do it. Do you have any methods for keeping work area dust-free, or is that a non-issue? Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. The biggest thing that I can say for a dust-free environment is just keep the airflow down. There's nothing that any practical shop can really do to avoid any dust floating through the air. I mean, as soon as you open that bay door, there's going to be a ton of air that comes in. So we have to get cars in and out regardless. Unless you're kind of like in a paint booth and you can cycle the air, suck all that out of it, you're going to have stuff floating in the air. So keeping airflow to a minimum, and the time in between peeling your film and putting it on the inside of the window, keep that pretty brief as well. Even then, stuff can happen. So, if it does, that sucks. No fun. Rip it off and redo it. Where's my... We didn't put it away, did we? I had that roll. And then I had So that was the Pro Classic 5. Oh, we did put it in the box. Oh, why did we do that? Because we dumb. Where did you get the foldy stool? Oh, I like that foldy stool. I want to find a better, like, rolly stool. But if you want something mobile, this is actually a pretty good option. This is a big Rhino folding stool. It's a step stool. It's not super comfortable, but it does the job, and it's super durable. So it just folds flat, throw it in with your stuff, flip it out. Kind of slides on most floors anyways, but it doesn't have any wheels. Because I hated putting like a roller stool. This mostly when I did a lot of mobile work. When I'd take a rolly stool, I never like trying to put one in my vehicle because it just takes up too much space. All right, so this, and then, oh, we gotta go this way. Small difference. All right. Follow the trail. Grab this. So, this little pattern was from earlier today when I cut out 3 pieces on the film, or 3 pieces of film, and I had extra on a 24-inch roll. So this is the template for the back window on the Ram that I did earlier today. And we're just gonna cut out on the glass board as if we had the window right here. But this is gonna be too short, so we gotta oversize it just a little bit. But you wouldn't know that unless you already screwed it up once. And we did on stream not too long ago. But this will make that back window go so much faster. Ta-da! That's it. You don't even have to round your corners if you don't really want to. Maybe just a little bit. Ta-da! It's plotter with me replotting the plotter for the plotter. It's like when somebody does a window and then you have to go fix it for them. They got it close. But it's not good enough. I'm gonna throw a strip on here, and that'll be the whole job. What is it? 130, 230, 330. But we took a little bit to go live. How long have we been live? Like an hour and a half? I mean, save some minutes off for the stream, but this really isn't far off of just a normal speed today. I mean, I guess we had some... We're in a groove because we did another Ram earlier today, but... You know, as long as everything kind of goes smoothly, it doesn't take that long. We're getting our process down, our picky process. There you go. Ta-da! So the plotted pattern is just a little too short. I had to cut it, this to be a little taller. It was wide enough, it just wasn't tall enough. Unfortunately, where's this? Do you always go to the shop every day as a routine? No. Most days, not every day. I mean, and it's been nice. We're in a little bit of a slower time, so it was busy every day. Now it's not quite as busy. So I have extra time to get some extra things done. But yeah, if I don't have appointments, there's sometimes other things here that I have to do, but not every day. I definitely don't just stay open and wait for people to walk in, because they don't. That was why I didn't really want to shop anyways. Was because I didn't want regular store hours. I didn't want to have to sit around and just wait for business if I didn't have it. I don't want to feel like I had to be open. I didn't want to feel like I had to pay somebody to always be here. And I don't run this place like that at all. I go off of 100% scheduled appointments. If you don't have a scheduled appointment, then I mean, some days we can accommodate like same day appointments, but oh my God, I hate same day appointments. The clients are completely different. Not all the time. There's like some genuinely good people that call around to get their car tinted in the same day, and they're good. They're good, but most of them, in comparison to the people that can actually wait at least a day ahead of time to schedule, and like, I get it. You want it tint, you want to get it done as soon as you can. Once you've kind of committed to it, it's like, it's that impulse thing. So, like, yeah, I'll go to Best Buy rather than order something just because I want it same day. I totally can respect it. But when somebody actually can book a day ahead, even one day, leave a deposit a day ahead of time, there's like a totally different class of person there than like somebody that just calls around to get it in immediately. Somebody that wants to get it in immediately, I have a much harder time even explaining the differences between one film and the other. It's like they just want tint, they want it now, it's all the same, they want it as cheap as possible, and they pretty much don't want to hear anything else from you. So at least those are the types of like same day phone calls I've been getting. Yeah, drives me nuts. So somebody that can like even wait a day, it's like they're just a little bit more calm. They'll generally research things a little bit more. They'll have a better understanding of like what they're getting into, or you know, they're just like looking for something a little bit better anyways, or like they're more willing to do a little bit of research and find out that, oh hey, there are a couple different films, or he's got a couple different products, sure, I'll listen to the differences, or just anything like that. And they show up. But if they leave a deposit, you almost done? Yes, sir. We got a windshield strip to do, and then we're gonna be done. We're gonna be done for today. Making pretty good time on this one. We haven't run into any disasters, which is nice. So normally I would remove the mirror if we were doing a full windshield, but since we're just doing a strip, the only thing that would help is a little bit more with cutting and placing and like being able to see that area, but definitely don't need to. You can sneak it back there, no problem. We're gonna split it. It's easy money right there. It's all easy money. It's all easy money, dude. Yeah, we've had, this is my second Ram today. Rams are just one of those staples in this area. There's so many. We're right near a Chrysler plant, so many Ram trucks. $500. plot that. I don't have anything for a windshield to plot. I don't think it's in the software at all. Let's see. Oh, they do. My bad. Should we try this? I want to try this one then. Oh, dang, they do have it. Well, this would be worth trying then. Okay, so real talk. Although, what is that for? So, I really like having a monitor for my computer on both sides because I don't have to walk around the car to like get to this at all. Okay, separate. Thank you. This curve is different than up here. That should be the same. That should be this. Guys, I don't even know if I want to try it. I like the idea of it being contoured, but I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it because I don't think it's gonna fit. These should be identical. Whatever mirror that they have this cut out for, I don't think is the same. Oh, look at that. That's been sitting on there for a little while. Have you ever tinted a windshield strip or a full windshield and you accidentally left an ink impression right in the corner? Just like very slight, but you could see it. Plot it. It's different. They're literally different cuts. It should be identical. This isn't gonna work. Plot it. What do I have in there? I have a 36. I gotta set it up for a 24. This is where everything goes downhill. All right. For the sake, 24. Thank you. For the sake of the stream, and just use the one side you think is the same and then flip the right one. You guys are giving the software way too much credit. I have no mirroring capabilities in here either. This software is so basic, you don't have any control. What you see is what you get. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't. I should just go home. Just cut it out. But sometimes I feel like y'all don't believe me when I give machines a hard time. I use a lot of machines. So this would be, yes, we're on the right window right now. Set. And then we're going to go over and we're going to cut it and just watch. Remember, it stopped cutting mid-cut last time, and I have no idea why. So hopefully it even gets through the entire cut. Crazy you don't have that. I know, this software is like, it's just... I hear it's getting improvements. We're going to be playing with Film Cut Pro too, but there's a reason why I didn't just want to start out with it. I used the patterns before and I was not happy with them, so there's that. I can tell it what size of roll I'm using, and it looks like it has absolutely no impact on the actual, like, the plotter. So the plotter would just, like, it'll just do whatever. It's more of just, like, a rough guide. It gives me, like, yeah, this is how much space you have to play around with. I bet you if I click cut and something was outside of that boundary, it would just try and cut it anyway. So, like I said earlier, if I could, I'd be using DAP, and then we'd have very nice patterns. That's not the case. True cut would be like a close second, and there were some issues with it. Overall, it was actually pretty good. but PRECUT is locked down to SunTech. Let's just go through the options right now. Computer cut, that's locked down to SolarGuard. Who else is locking software? Film and vinyl is open, and we're going to be messing around with kind of film and vinyl. Then there's TintTech 2020, and I don't know, a couple of others. Most are like locked down to companies. I think it's a selling feature. I mean, at this point, maybe it is. Because I'm curious. Let's see how this works. I'm not even going to, I mean, I'm just gonna like, I don't even think I'm gonna clean it. Not yet. I'm gonna see how this lines up, and then if it looks like it's gonna work, I'll pick it back off. But again, one side is different than the other side. So, because everything went so nice, and y'all are so supportive. What even is this? Come on! What am I supposed to do? It's not even for... There we go, guys. Okay, yep. I installed your windshield strip. I don't see any issues with that. Oh my god. What am I even supposed to do with that? Get out the film stretcher. Please. Somebody screenshot that and post it in my group. Oh my god. What did we think? That this was gonna be the problem? But we're... Yeah, that's fine. That's alright. We got enough other work to do today. Ah, good times. Easy money, easy money. So are we gonna go do a windshield strip like normal? Yeah, we are. Thank you for coming to my plotter class. Y'all have a good day now. 10 out of 10. That was worth a joke. I had no idea it'd be that short, but that's really funny. You just put it on, they won't notice. It's meant for the full front monitor collision system. Yeah, it's definitely not meant for this one. The problem is actually most of them that I do looks exactly like this. But what's funny is like they have one option. So they committed to doing one windshield strip. And it's just that far off of all of them. Dude, I'm not even confident it would fit any of them with it being that short. But, dude, that was just too funny. So that's really like windshield cutouts in a nutshell. There's so many different windshield types that are out there and so many different systems, so many different tiers, that windshields above all else are notoriously like unreliable, which sucks, but that's just kind of how it is. Some of them will put the time and get them to be close enough, and you can like make them a little bit bigger and get them to fit, and every once in a while you just have one that doesn't fit. Most of the time, windshields for me just didn't work out. Windshield strips are like less risk though. That one was that one was special. I screenshotted it for the group. Thank you. Plotter Depot is gonna have an aneurysm. Thank you. It's like it's just a golden moment. I want somebody is going to defend it though. Somebody is going to chime in and go, I did something wrong. I think the first thing anybody's going to say, well, it wasn't meant for that windshield, obviously, blah, 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 blah. Whatever the case. There was a guy, he posted a frameless window, and it was about like 3/4 to like a full inch short. And then he posted a hand cut one that came right up to the edge and looked great. And then he got a world of kickback from people that are like defending it. And it's like, no, it's just a bad pattern. Well, he could have tucked it in too far into the seal. Come on, really? You really think that he was just trying to give it a bad name? Dude was irritated. I've run into that so many times. It's annoying. Maybe we should switch to 1 car per day, and then we'll do a full vehicle in software, and then we'll do a full vehicle, and then we'll do the same vehicle with like hand cutting, and we'll just like keep changing out softwares and using examples and stuff, and it's like, this is this is what happens. Not just trying to dog on it, give it a bad name and whatever. It's just like, it's part of what you deal with. You have good, you have bad, and it's just not always 100% reliable. F the haters. Okay, so for this one, if we went to the bottom of the tab, this would cover up damn near half the windshield. These also tend to curve a little bit more, so this is like personal preference here. You may or may not do this. I like to give them a little bit of a tweak. So I'll slice them in the middle, and I'll kind of like tweak the insides a little bit, which on the inside makes it appear a little bit more straighter, a little bit straighter, and not come too far down the windshield, but cover up enough to where it's still helpful. There's just a lot of curve on these ones. So it's a real shame that our contoured strip didn't work out. But we tried. We did try. Yeah. Wow, that's far. How high do I want to go on this? Maybe like... He went pretty dark on the back, so I think he appreciates a good size strip here. I think it's... Sometimes they're off-center, too. They'll be a little bit longer on this side than they will be on that side. I think that's the case here. Maybe I'm crazy, but it definitely kind of seems like the case. So basically like a full, yeah, dude, and then a full, yeah, dude. So a little bit up on this one. Yeah, that's what we're looking for right there. Should be good. All right. I want to see that post. I suppose we should probably work, but Canon. There it is. There's the post. Look at that. Look at that gap. Oh, it's great. Good times. All right, where's my windows? Thank you for posting that. Dominic, thank you for posting that. That one. Got that in place. We need our light. Let's cut this sucker out. Let's get it installed, and we're gonna be all set today. Windshield strips is where plotter shine. It didn't shine so much there. But if the patterns are spot on, yeah, for sure, because you can get a really easy contour cut out of it, and that's something that I struggle with hand cutting. I should probably try it again. It's not something I could do on every car, which I think really irked me earlier on. So like, you could kind of follow the curve here, but this curve will change. It's not always even. And when it's up here and you put it down here, it doesn't always translate to being a nice, straight-looking windshield strip. It just doesn't. Like a really big offender, I think, was the earlier 300s. Tried it on that. Then you have stuff like, oh, what was it? I think Kia. There's other ones, they have like notched windshields. So that's about as close as you can get it. And then I saw some people, they would use like a big glass board. They would use like a bent ruler. And they had an interesting way of getting like a guesstimate on that contour. And then I saw some crazy people actually hand cut it. I don't feel remotely confident enough that I could cut a straight one. So maybe that's why it doesn't turn out that way. But practice makes perfect, so. I don't know. It's just, again, maybe I'm lazy. I just do windshield strips like this. They're good enough. They've been like, they've been fine for anybody that gets them just because it's what's normally expected. So we keep doing them this way. Drummer at night, tinter during the day. Nice, very nice. I wanted to learn drums a long time ago. I can't really keep a rhythm very well. But when I was little, I wanted to learn how to play the drums. And then my parents were like, you can learn how to play any instrument when you grow up. I was like, well, I'm play the drums. And they're like, you're going to play piano. It's like, oh. Well, that's not what you said. But I was never really into learning it, so I forgot most of what I knew. On the outside. Yes, that is on the outside. Okay. Do it one more little swoosh. How many times have you cut yourself? Not that many. There'll be the occasional time where I'll have a gnarly window tint paper cut, and that always gets annoying. I think the worst time that I ever cut my hands, it wasn't with window tinting, it was installing automotive accessories. But it was really dumb. It was really dumb what happened. So this is more of like 2010-ish maybe? No, a little bit earlier than that. It was like when I was still a detailer and then learning some automotive accessories. We had these little like light covers. Like people get chrome stick-ons all the time. like bug guards, chrome stick-ons, and just whatever other kind of goofy things that they wanted to slap onto their truck because they just thought it was the best. So chrome was all the rage. And there were these like Ram light covers that gave it more of like I guess a little aggressive look, kind of put like a chrome grill look over their taillights, and they were just molded over it. It was, like I said, this was super dumb. So I put one of them on the light, and then I grabbed it to like readjust it, and then it stuck really hard, and that plastic was so sharp, I cut all my fingers just and just like didn't stop bleeding for a while. I couldn't like touch anything. That was the worst. Window tint paper cuts are like terrible too because they just don't stop bleeding. So it's like you have work to do and you're gonna bleed all over the interior. Looks way worse than it is. So not a horrific like but it was definitely like the worst annoyance that I've ever had with it. How's it going, boy? Been playing for 15 years, metal and rock. I do piano as well. Tint lessons for drum lessons. It's too late for me to learn now. I appreciate it though. I have too many other things. I can't dedicate any time to learning how to play drums. But that's sweet. That's really cool. Piano was we had to go to piano lessons every week. And I never really took the time to learn how to read sheet music. So I knew I could figure out the notes with enough time. So I kind of like memorize how to play a song. So I really never like read the music. I just kind of learned what the notes were and then memorized like the tune. But it took me a while to just even do that, and I just hated trying to sight read music. So I kind of forgot all of that. I don't remember hardly any songs. But I know where middle C is. I can find that. You got the film stretcher to work. Yep, 100% fine. Just took a little bit more work. There we go. Much better. No gaps now. Let's get this in place. Just a little bit higher. Love your videos. Thank you. I missed the name. I like half saw it or half heard it, but I appreciate that a lot. There we go. Do you ever have to shrink windshields? The sun visors? Yeah, sometimes I do. This would be totally fine to shrink. I guess it's really similar to installing a window with no seals in it. You can evenly squeegee everything out to where you pretty much don't have to shrink it. Like, you don't have to shrink them at all most of the time. But on this one, it's like just a little bit farther down. So some of these areas, like little fingers popping up, as long as you can wipe it out, dry it out, you'll be better off. What is that? I never learned how to sight read music either. Oh, dang. Well, I feel a little better then. There's just a little teeny tiny smidge of a hair in a really annoying spot right at the edge. Goodbye. Thank you. They told me I had to learn how to sight read when I was learning. I didn't want to. But my parents had a really funny exchange with what we had to do. They tried to incentivize us to learn, and so a half an hour of piano equaled a half an hour of Nintendo 64. So it was like, just gonna go piddle along the piano for a little while. Okay, I'm done a half an hour. I get to go play Nintendo. At the time, we had Zelda Ocarina of Time. Oh, that was a great game. We played that for hours and hours, just roaming around. It was such a game you could get lost into. Find little random things that were hiding. Ah, it froze! Whoa! Oh, it went black. It lost signal? What the heck? Not at the end. What has been going on with this? Oh, shut off. Really? I think that's even more annoying. Maybe we can fix this pretty quick. Tint ASMR. These batteries are usually a little better than that. They'll stay on, because how long have we been streaming? It's 4? Two hours? Really? Yeah, we've been going for like 2 hours. That's annoying. Okay, whatever. Gonna let these connect. Oh, come on. It's like you gotta start the receiver first, and then start the transmitter, and then it'll catch up. But even then, it's being dumb. I'm just waiting for it to connect. Once it connects, I can plug this in. Channel 1. Why isn't this working? I play guitar. My dad sang with members of Great White Now. I play Guitar Hero. That's where the music came from. Oh, that's cool. Guitar Hero is pretty popular in my house too. But my younger brother played it a lot more than I ever did. He was really good at it. That is something you legitimately could play to learn how to play drums. Everything else is kind of like you learn some rhythm. Whoa. That's very slow. Hang on. It's gonna go black, reactivate, and then we should, hey, we're learning. We're learning how to fix this. It's like the problems are slowly see that? I got a paper cut. We were just talking about them. I got a paper cut off the tint. Well, that's not gonna stop. It was literally from just picking up scraps. Whoops. Oh. What the heck? Wow. Oh, I had no idea. Drop frames galore. Oh, are we back to this again? Dang. That really sucks. That's not good. All right. Dang. I'm really sorry. I'm having internet issues again. That hasn't happened until the weather started taking a turn. So I guess it's going to be this shit again for the winter. Woo! Hey! We got gassed.
Dean Petrozevic super chatted $5.80.
Dean!
Good morning, Tint Master. Just turned 7 a.m. in Australia and just woke up to your live stream. Been missing them due to work.
Aw, Dean, thank you so much for the super. I appreciate that. You just woke up. You're up at 7? I'd be sleeping. Even through my streams. Thank you, I appreciate that a lot. Okay, I think it's kind of stable. So last winter, and I guess it's no surprise that it'll happen this winter, we had streaming issues, which will definitely be more of a problem this year than last year. So I didn't realize so many frames were dropping. So if you're getting a lot of stuttering or it's skipping, that's definitely happened a lot this stream. That's no good. I had no idea it was happening. That's like the worst. I think that's one of the literally the worst problems that I can have in this business. When you're streaming and then you can't even keep a stable stream. That's a big problem. Okay, so anyways, somebody asked if I shrink windshield strips. If I have to, I'll do all the touch up on the inside. Unless it's really brutal, then I'd shrink it on the outside. But usually, if you're doing something like a Silverado or shorter, there isn't anything that needs to be shrunk. You still could ahead of time, just like I do for like quarter windows and stuff. So you definitely don't have to. But there's usually enough space on a windshield strip that you can see ahead of time, or like you can tuck everything in, and then you go to fix it, and you got plenty of room to like, you're not pulling in a bunch of garbage when you're trying to fix it. This cut is, I'm just getting this end to iron down a little bit better. There we go. Strip done. Guess all that's left is a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of touch up, and that's what she looks like. How much for this one? This one is what? $240 for all the sides in the back, 50, so $290. $290 total. And we've done 2 of those today. So not a crazy weekend by any means. But pretty easy going. I woke up in Australia early. I saw a live stream. Nice, very nice. Maybe I need to stream more at 4 o'clock. What type of film do you use? GeoShield. This one is their Pro Classic. Sorry, you're probably asking which one out of them. We're using the Pro Classic. So, no major heat rejection, unfortunately, coming into wintertime on this one. And I don't know. We've definitely had more Pro Classic jobs lately. The weather has turned. We're seeing a lot more of that. Not uncommon. I guess it was a big boost to have, like, when February, March, busy season, warmer weather started hitting. We went from a lot of Pro Classic jobs into just everybody was getting like carbon and ceramic became the most popular options. So now that weather's kind of cooling off, it's obviously not as much of a priority in this state. Down south, you guys deal with heat a lot more than I do, so depends. Just depends. But I've heard plenty of slowdowns down south as well. I don't know how it's going right now, but it happens. The longer you stay in business, the more business that you're generally going to have. Okay, so that's pretty much, I guess I should take this one out. I like these things. I found them on Amazon. They're like seat towel covers, and you just like throw over the headrest. And they cover up so much of the seat. So jumping in and out, they stay in place. Like, these have been really, really nice. They're not sliding all over the place or anything. I like them. Aw. Been watching these live streams for about a year. Love watching the Tint Master in action. I'm going to try tint my own car soon. Aw, good luck. I appreciate that. Most have been carbon this week, so many tickets were a little higher. That's awesome. Way to keep it up. I try. Sometimes, some days go well, other days not quite as well, but it all kind of evens out. All right, Canon. Canon! There we go. Well, how about that? Oh, did we not really do much of a walk around? Do we have to do that? Do we have, you guys seen the Ram? Does that mean? So we're pretty much done here. Let me pull up some super chats. Stream condition. Yeah, it is just bouncing all over the place. Dang. That's probably where viewership dropped off too, unfortunately. Oh, what a killer. See, that's what really hurts. Is like, some streams will be busier than others, and I'm more than happy to do it, but then when I have like a stupid internet issue totally ruin like a stream, like halfway through, it just like, people have too many buffering and then I look and, oh my God, it was on my end. That hurts. All right, but I appreciate those of you that did hang out this far. Sorry if there's any buffering issues. It looks like there was a fair amount of stuttering. By 10% of the stream was true. Good Lord. All right, so thank you so much, though, to Dean, Ty Scoggin, Cameron, and that was it. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate all the support, as always. I have to type this one up, cash him out. He's going to be all set for today, and that's it for me this weekend. Next week, we do have some stuff, but I don't exactly know when I'm going to stream yet, so just keep those subscriptions on if you don't want to miss it. And yeah, I guess I will catch you in the next stream. I don't really have anything else to say, I don't think. It's like that awkward silence. I don't know. I feel like there was something that I wanted to mention, but I totally forgot what it was, if there was anything. Did you guys have fun? Did you guys have fun? Yeah, I'm gonna close here. Sorry about that. All right, you guys have a good weekend. I'll catch you later. Go tint some windows, make some monies, and have some funs. Oh yeah, there goes my stream again. Jesus Christ, that's no good. I gotta leave